Wow, we got a great call lineup today. I just want to say thank you all for being on the call today. We are just jacked up excited for this young man who's going to get on the call. Been knowing him for several years. I just want to thank him for who he is and what he's done. He just put 2 IBOs in yesterday, and he's probably got a couple more to go. And this man is amazing. I tell you what, that's why I want him to on the call to share what he's doing. Without further ado, he hails from down in the Dallas, Texas area. He's one of TD Jake's go-to guys. I just talked to Max Factor. I talked to TD Jake's brother a couple of days ago, and I just love this guy because he just brings it raw. He's real. And you know what I'm talking about? He's talking about backbone and apostle. Last time I was on here. Matter of fact, when I just catch myself throughout the day just doing this, I talk to people on the conference call. So can we all do this real quickly as I introduce the one, the only, the great from Dallas, Texas, Sam Foster, backbone and posture man.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming on the call. Once again, I really appreciate Mr. Thomas for opening up this platform, not only for me, but for everybody else on the call. Appreciate everybody for coming because I know you could have been anywhere but here. So I thank you for that. All the leaders that are on the call, it's too many of you guys to name, but you know who you are, from all the RDs to the RVPs, as well as the SVP himself. We're going to go ahead and dive into the information. I want to introduce this young man, take a couple of minutes to introduce himself. As you guys know, last week we acquired Stream Energy, which is now Connect. And this young man was previously in ACN and went over to them. It wasn't a problem or a riff or anything. You know, he just went over to them at one point years back. And he's coming back full circle, for lack of a better word. And he's coming back to the family. He reached out to me before it happened and kind of broke everything down to me, and I was really excited for him. Me and this young man has been in the trenches together. We actually started around the same time with Mr. Thomas holding beats here in Dallas, and Mr. Thomas did nothing but motivate and encourage us. And I'm just happy for the young man, to be back in the fold with us and bringing a team, a real nice team over, by the way. I'm gonna give him a couple of minutes to speak, and I'll be back with you guys. His name is Mr. Curran Hill, coming out of Dallas, Texas.
Hey, guys. Thank you. Senior Vice President Al Thomas and my guy, Mr. Sam Foster. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So yeah, giving it back to y'all, man. I just appreciate. I'm just so happy and grateful that my buddies are still there, are still in ACN, and just ready to grow. You know, I always say, I just want to encourage you guys. Where you are doesn't dictate where you're going to be. So a setback is a setup for a comeback, full circle. So those blessings and that great energy that you guys are putting out in your business and life, it's gonna come back because it's a seed that's just been planted that's going to grow. And you just never know how it's going to grow. One thing for sure in life is change, right? Change is for sure, but progress is not for sure unless you put your head down and you focus and you make it focus on elevation. So basically, a little bit of my story is that I've been fired and laid off from every single job. So when Mr. Thomas met me, I was laid off. I was either laid off or fired. So I'm so grateful that Mr. Thomas came into our lives, and because of his leadership. And let me start my video. Hey guys. So because of Mr. Thomas's leadership and his focus and humble attitude is what really motivated me, being that my pain was that I was broke in 2013, could barely rub 2 cents together, right? But he taught us the difference between being poor, passing over opportunity repeatedly, in order to become rich. And now today, that being a serial entrepreneur, since 2015, full-time entrepreneur, the time freedom of entrepreneurship and the seeds that all my guys in ACN have planted in me, it's sprouted out. That was back when I was about 26, 25. Now I'm 35 going on 36. It's just a blessing to to find businesses that can yield you freedom. Like literally, my kids right now, I have a daughter, 2 sons, and a wife. We are in homeschool, and we've been homeschooling because of the principles that our business teaches, is that residual income creates happiness, and that all the services that are offered is just like streams of income, and you just can't have one stream of income. Just guess what? You got to have rivers to flow to you at any given time. So I just kind of remembering the ACN days in the beginning, to where I didn't have a car, gas tank on E. Mr. Thomas, he would sit in Starbucks for 4 or 5 hours, and we would send our prospects over to him when he could be doing anything else in the world that he wanted to, literally. And that the fact that he just took time to invest in us, and that is what he's been doing for y'all for years, decades. And just think about, like, I wouldn't be this person I was today if it wasn't for ACN, and we're in the blessing business. And obviously, Connect is bringing over millions of extra customers and energy customers and stuff like that. I see that y'all still have a robust, even better compensation plan than you did when I was there in 2013. But at the end of the day, Connect is full of great people aspiring to do great things. And what we always ask for is, we want more services. We want more services. Guess what? Be careful what you ask for. We got more services. So it's a beautiful thing and a per answer. So, things don't happen to you, they happen for you. So a lot of times, when companies go through situations, we want to point the blame on who's not doing what. But how about you point the blame to yourself and say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is the flag that I'm going to plant. And this is what I'm going to do. Guaranteed. Success is guaranteed. I tell people all the time, success is guaranteed, but it's up to you. You have to develop a rich mentality, and that's what it's really been about. Living rich, being rich, and it's about intentionally, right? Intentionally and deliberately cutting the things that don't serve you, okay? Being okay with that. You have to rearrange your shelf of association, okay? Because some people, like me, I was associating with people who were broke-minded at one point in time, right? You love certain people, all right? We love everybody, but you can't have my time, because my time is something I can't get back. My time is for my children. My time is for my wife now. So it's unbelievable transformation, all the way from when it was $4.99. Now you guys are $1.99. Like, I'm just so happy to be back. And like, some people don't know how much that matters. It's the fact that the 4 co-founders, ACN, hey, they thought about us. They allowed us to bring over our teams, to keep our customers and stuff like that. So this is not a sad story. You have a lot of happy people that are going to be working with y'all. We're y'all cousins. So that's what it's about. We have a winning culture, and it's just a prayer answer, like I say. And the real reason why I do this business is for my family to create a legacy. And when I started ACN, my dad passed away when I was 12 years old. So that's why this business is so important to me, is because I went to my dad's library and I found that he had the Law of Success book. Okay, y'all familiar with Napoleon Hill? I'm Kieran Hill. That's Napoleon Hill. That's my kinfolk, right? So I looked at that book and I said to myself, I was already in ACN, but I didn't know that he was trying to make our family wealthy and create a legacy for his children, which is us. Before I even knew he was trying to do it, I was already doing ACN. So that's when this business changed from just doing a business to a calling. See, a job is what you pay for, but a calling is what you made for. So inside of you, everybody has a gift, and you got to open your eyes, ears, and mouth and declare that, hey, there's some powerful people around you. I accept and receive all the unexpected good, the unexpected love, the unexpected prosperity, the unexpected abundance, everything. So it's all good. It's all good, y'all. So I always keep that with me. It's just basically, we're going for the overflow. And what's happening is we are creating space for the good that you desire. So keep pushing your business, okay? Mash the gas. Be grateful for what you have. Because we had a couple services, y'all got 11, 12, so mash the gas, help people and go from there. Go for the overflow, fill yourself up, but the overflow is not for you. The overflow is for somebody else. So keep being great, y'all. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate you getting on the call. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for creating your platform so we can get on. Also, we had another guy that's in the midst with us, Mr. Jomar Sharp, who actually went with Mr. Thomas last weekend, and I'm jealous, by the way. So Jomar, you out there? I know you out there. I saw you. So he's another guy from back in the day with us as well. Appreciate you as well, sir. I'm gonna dive right into the information because I know you guys are ready to see what I have cooking. So I'm gonna dive right in. If you're taking notes, by the way, I hope everybody has a notepad and you're taking notes. Right? If you're not, go get your notepads because we're getting ready to take off. Put your seatbelts on, ladies and gentlemen, because we're getting ready to go on a ride. Okay? And if you're taking notes, the title of this particular situation right here that I'm going to be speaking of is persistence over pressure. I'm going to repeat myself. Persistence over pressure. That's going to be the acronym for the word POP. P-O-P, persistence over pressure, okay? And as we're going along, I want you guys to think in your minds, and I know everybody can do this, so we're going to be interactive. I want everybody to snap their fingers. That's going to be the rhythm, snapping your fingers. Not both of them, just one of them for right now. That's going to be the feeling for pop. I want you guys to snap your fingers. I want you to put it up to your ears because that's going to be the rhythm. All right, one-handed. We're going to be popping. We're getting ready to pop. Okay. First of all, I want you guys to understand what persistence really is. Okay, it's firm or obstinate continuance in a course of action in spite of difficulties or opposition. It's a firm or obstinate continuance of a course of action in spite of difficulties or opposition, right? It's to be persistent, someone or something that is stubborn or keeps on going. That's for you ladies and gentlemen out there that says, I don't know if I can keep it going. This keeps happening, that keeps happening. Continue to be persistent. Continue to be enduring. You have to keep going. You have to keep going. But Sam, you don't understand. Yes, I do. But you have to keep going. You have to keep going. Everybody's not the same, but everybody can be persistent day after day, day after day. It's the trait that allows someone to continue doing something, or trying to do something, even though it is difficult or opposed by other people. It's sometimes going to be difficult and opposed by other people, but keep going. Remember, that pop, keep popping, keep popping, keep popping. When it comes to making quality as good as it can be, persistence is just as important as any other quality. Persistence is just as important as any other quality, okay? Persistence is a fundamental trait to develop in life because it is closely related to personal development and improvement. You will only improve when you fail forward, when you can learn from those experiences and move on, having enough persistence or determination to go and not give up, okay? Growing a team takes this. Growing a team takes persistence. Always remember that. So when you're on your one hand and you're popping, you're thinking about it. You're thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm ready to pop. I'm ready to pop. I'm ready to pop. I want to be persistent. I want to be persistent. So anytime you have doubt in your mind, I want everyone to pop, 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 pop. That's the rhythm. That's the rhythm. Everybody keep popping. Everybody keep popping. That's the rhythm. That's the rhythm. That's the rhythm. I want you guys to keep popping. Keep popping. All right, now we're going to turn the page. Now we're going to get interactive again with the second hand of it. Why do you say second hand, Sam? I appreciate you for giving the question. I'm going to give the answer. Okay, the second hand is because there are 8 pop actions to success. If you're taking notes, there are only 8 pop actions to success. And when I go through these pop actions, you guys are going to understand what I'm talking about because it's going to interact with things that Mr. Thomas has said in the recent past and all the other leaders. It's going to culminate together like a pot of gumbo. It's going to taste good, real good. Just watching you see, just watching you see. Okay, the first action, ladies and gentlemen, action number 1, understand your why. Let's understand your why, first of all. And when you understand your why, know the reason behind your goal. You have to know the reason behind your goal because that's going to spark something in you. That's going to continue to make you pop. Then when you get on those action steps, then you bring in your second pop. You should have both of your hands up now. We popping. Oh, we pop. We popping like popcorn in hot grease. Oh, we pop. See, come on now. Come on now. Let's get the rhythm going. That's what I'm talking about. Motivation time. That's right. That's right. Now you can hear it in your ear. That's the rhythm. If you're doing it right, you got the rhythm already. It should be a 2-step rhythm in your ear. You should hear it. Pop, pop. Every time you're going to get another IBO, you should be popping. Every time you're going to get another customer, you should be popping. Yeah, if you're in a public place, they looking at you crazy, but they want to know what you're doing too. Yeah. If they touch you or if they say something to you, Belinda, you look around and you tell them, I'm popping. You tell them, Belinda, I see you over there. If they walk up to you, look. If the waiter come up to you, Belinda, you better tell him I'm popping and get his name and number. By the way, you popping. That's right. That's right. I see you, Diane. I see you, Claudine Collins. I see you over there. Yeah. Stay popping. Stay popping. Catherine Williams, I see you. That's right. You ain't too old to pop. Yeah, no. Sweet 16 all over again, baby. That's pop. That's what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter if you're 80, blind, cripple, or crazy. We popping in ACN. July getting ready to pop. We gonna pop before the 4th of July. We gonna set the stage before the 4th of July. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we get the gist of it, but we popping it. Keep it in your mind. Keep it in your mind. You're popping. Okay, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at action number 2. Action number 2, playing in 3D. If you ever saw a movie in 3D, you know it's magnified. Okay, that 3D, the 3Ds in this thing stands for define to set your goal. You have to define your why to set your goal. Okay, when you do that, you divide it. You create an action plan to divide the project into small steps. In other words, 1 step at a time. Now, I'm going to give a good example to the 1 step at a time. And of course, they didn't know I was going to do this. But you know, Miss Kinko in Japan and her husband, Mr. Payon, you know, we all know that this guy wasn't getting any leads. But now he's accountable and he's popping all the way over there in Japan because he's getting 3 and 4 leads a day. Well, okay, then he's popping. Come on now, he's popping. You got to pop. You got to pop. Imagine yourself being the popcorn for my old schoolers out there who used to cook popcorn on the stove. You know what I'm talking about. You put that grease in there and you put that top on it. And if you didn't have a top, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we used? We used a plate. We used a plate if we didn't have a top. So we start shaking it like this right here. And all of a sudden, ladies and gentlemen, you start hearing that one kernel hit that plate, pop, and you jump back and say, whoa, wait a minute, I don't want this grease to pop on my hands. Then you start hearing another pop, 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 pop. Then all of a sudden, you got IBO, you got customers, you got business partners, because we pop. Come on now, we pop. Yeah, we got IBOs, we got business partners, we got Stream coming over, we got everybody coming over. Yeah, we popping. Okay, we got action step number 3. Okay, train undertake, train to undertake. The examples is when you train to undertake, you prepare yourself. You do stuff like we're doing right now. You get on these conference calls and you train yourself to get on these conference calls. Well, I don't always feel like getting up at 11 o'clock Central just to get on the conference call, but that's when you're popping, when you can compete, when you completely do it all the time without even thinking about it. So when I told you guys to come up and pop like this right here, I want you to get the rhythm in your ears by you doing it so much while we're on the call. You will have that rhythm going all day long. It's a pop. It's a pop. It reminds you to continue to keep going. It reminds you to continue to motivate yourself. It's a rhythm. We're trying to get in a rhythm. We just came out to international convention. We should be popping right now. We should be popping. We should be just like those kernels sitting on the stove, ready to pop, ready to pop. We are fully motivated. Well, I don't know, Sam. I don't know if I can go back and talk to anybody. They told me no. Keep going. Keep going. Because we already know a no turned around backwards is nothing but on. Come on now. We just came out the convention. You know what I'm saying? We was already on, so we can continue to be on. We got to keep popping. There you go. I see you. I see your fingers popping. So that way, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to action number 4. Identify your reason to believe. Okay, believe in yourself. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, I understand we got new people on the call, and a lot of times people say, well, I tried it over here and it didn't work. Well, this is not that. No disrespect, but this is not that. This is ACN. This is a complete no-brainer. You have to do our services, so this is not that. No disrespect to the other companies, but we not juices, coffee, vitamins. We not none of that stuff. No disrespect, no disrespect. But we're ACN. We do things a different kind of way. What we do in ACN is we build relationships. And if you're looking at it, you ought to be in the relationship with yourself first. Because it's not what other people say about you, it's what you say about yourself. As a man or woman thinketh, so are they. Man must know thyself. Before you walk out your door, ladies and gentlemen, prospect anybody. Don't have to be at the mall, it could be anywhere. You got to know yourself before you walk out the door. You have to know yourself before you get out the car. You have to know yourself. You have to think in your own mind. Do I believe in me? We have a lot of people sometimes that don't believe in themselves and put it off on everybody else. You have to believe in yourself first before you can have anybody believe in you, because your energy says a lot about you. So when you're approaching people, every now and then you might want to smile. Because if you're looking like you're sucking liniments, I don't want you around me. Because first of all, if you're coming up to me, approaching me, and you don't look right, it's weird. And ACN is not weird. ACN is a relationship company. We build relationships before we do anything else. Remember that, ladies and gentlemen, we're building relationships. So nobody has to believe in you but you. Let me repeat that. I want everybody to write that down. Nobody has to believe in you but you. Now, the good book says, where 2 and 3 are gathered, God is in the midst. Okay, well, I'm going to be real honest with you. You don't need nobody but you and the good man upstairs. That's all you need. Him and you. That's the two. Him and you. That's the two. That's all you need. I know everybody calls me a lot of times and say, how do you do it? How do you do it? I just put one foot in front of the other. I just recognize I'm popping. I just pop. When I get out the bed, I just pop. When I walk out the door, I just pop. When I get in my car, I'm just popping. What you doing, sir? I'm just popping. What you doing? I'm just popping. I hear it all in my ear. I'm just popping. I didn't go to bed this morning at 2 o'clock. Why? I was popping. I was just popping. Why'd you go to bed so late, sir? I was popping. I was thinking about these IBOs, and I was thinking about these customers, and I was thinking I was getting ready to take it over. I was just popping. I wasn't going to wait until the 4th of July to pop. I just felt like I'll pop on the 29th. I feel like I'll pop on the 29th. I don't have to wait till the 4th of July. Come on now. Come on now, ladies and gentlemen. Why are we waiting until the 4th of July? We can have our fireworks right now. Believe in you. You have to believe in you, not anybody else. It starts with you. You have to be the IBO that you're looking for. Quit looking for IBOs. Let them look for you. What do you mean by that, Sam? Let me give you guys a quick story. Yesterday, I go into the mall. You guys know that's my favorite place. Come on now. I go into the mall. And by the way, those 2 IBOs that I put in the system yesterday, oh, I got them out the mall. I was popping. No disrespect. Praise God. I was popping. Watch this. I go make my steps. So I go around the corner. I'm passing the pretzel shop. It's about 5 young people at the pretzel shop working because everybody know it's summertime, so they're hiring all the teenagers and the kids from college. I go around the corner, true story. Young lady stops me. She had been working there for a couple of weeks. She said, come in for a second. Young lady, 19. I come up to the counter. She said, what do you do? I said, huh? She said, we see you in here all the time. She said, what do you do? I had some fun with her, ladies and gentlemen. I looked at her and I said, nothing. She said, huh? I said, nothing. She said, what do you mean nothing? I said, she leaned over. I told her, ladies and gentlemen, this is my catchphrase. I said, I fire bosses. Oh, yeah. I'm going to say it again. I said, I fire bosses. She said, what do you mean? And then all the other kids started gathering around, all the other teenagers, because they heard what I said. I said, yeah, I'll say it again. I said, I fire bosses. They said, why? I said, because I get tired of trading time for dollars and them giving me a tip called a paycheck. Only I'm going to say it again. I said, I get tired of trading time for dollars. And I get tired of getting a tip called a paycheck. Out of that one statement I made, ladies and gentlemen, out of the 5 people that were standing around, 3 of those people put their name on a piece of paper. They tore it off the receipt at the cash register and wrote their name and their number on there because they told me they want to fire their boss too. Now, these are 17, 18, and 19-year-old kids. And the one that was 17, I said, man, I don't know if we can do anything with you, sir. The guy name was William. I said, because you have to be 18 to do what I do. He said, well, I'll be 18 in less than 2 weeks. Can I ride? I said, you can ride. We popping. Come on, baby. We popping. I said, you can ride in 2 weeks because we popping. I'm not waiting until the 4th of July. I'm popping now. If you wait for the 4th of July, you miss me. I'm popping now. We popping, ladies and gentlemen. We popping. We popping. Now watch this, ladies and gentlemen, because now we on action step, if I'm not mistaken, action step number 5. Evaluate your habits. You have to have consciousness, all right, concentration, and control. Evaluate your habits because you have to have consciousness. You have to be conscious of what you're doing. You have to concentrate. You have to be stable at some point, and you have to be under control. You can't have your emotions going up and down like a wave pool. That's not going to work. You have to have balance in what you're doing because you're going to have some good days and some not so good days. But you'll have better good days than bad. You have to learn how to balance. That's why I told you guys, when I said do this right here, on the first end, I said bring it in the second end like this, because you want to balance. You want to balance your pop. You want to balance your rhythm. You don't never want to unbalance your rhythm. Why? Because you want to do this on a daily basis, You want to call somebody on a daily basis. You want to do something like Mr. Thomas always said to promote your business. I don't care if it's getting them on the Zoom call tonight. I don't care if it's peaking them. I don't care if it's calling them back. You're doing something to promote your business. Action step number 6. You need to learn how to improvise. You have to learn how to improvise. Action step number 6. What do you mean by that, Sam? Sometimes you have to get out of the plan because circumstances require it. Let me say it again. Sometimes you have to get out of your routine of what you're going to do because circumstances require it. In other words, sometimes we have to be liquid like water. We have to be able to be like water. We have to be able to flow. And when you're able to flow, 9 times out of 10, great things happen. Why? Because the word says you have to be all things sometimes to all people. In other words, you're going to have to be young to the youngsters. I learned a new word while I've been at the mall. The youngsters don't say acquisition and mergers. You know, they say words like ghost riders. They don't say you're looking nice. They say little words like drip. I have to learn all that when I'm talking to these young people. I have to implement my conversation depending on who I'm talking to. I have to be a chameleon. I have to be that way sometimes so I can relate to the younger crowd as well as the older crowd. Because to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, the younger crowd has all the money. And I've told you guys this several times. These younger people are going into these shoe stores and spending $200 and $300 on a pair of sneakers. So when I can educate them, when we can educate them and tell them invest in yourself instead on your exterior, put it on your interior, put it on where it can last in your mind. So the next 10 or 15 years of your life, we can be like a Shaquille O'Neal. We can have money flowing and money going, and we can go places we really want to go instead of having an excuse why we can't get out the house. So we have to have that youthful mentality. Youthful mentality. Okay. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, we have to be willing to change. And you remember this. Mr. Thomas said this years ago. I don't even know if he remembered this. And I say this to people all the time, especially when they say they're not interested. How can you say you're not interested and you're not where you want to be? Come on now. So you know that's not true. So what I usually tell them, ladies and gentlemen, I'll send them a text back and I'll say, remember, if you don't change, all you'll have in your pocket is change. Let me say that again. If you don't change, all you'll have in your pocket is change. And that's letting them know you got to make a move. You can't sit in the same place expecting the same results. That's not going to happen. You have to move. And most people can relate to that statement. If you don't change, all you have in your pocket is change. You have to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. And not only for the individuals that you pick, but that holds true to us, to the IBO. We have to change. We have to be willing to change every day. Okay? With that said, action step number 7. Okay. Seek specialized advice. Seek specialized advice. Mr. Al Thomas, who's been Circle of Champions member for 10 consecutive years in a row. Personally responsible for 18 millionaires in 20 years. This is what I tell people when I'm peaking people. This is what I tell them. Remember now, I get out the way. I edify the leadership. When I get people on these Zoom calls, I edify Marcia Carter. You know, I edify Julian Lewis. I edify Natasha 5.0. I'll even edify the new guy on the block. All right, Mr. Al Randolph. I edify them because they can do the job for me. And when these individuals get on these Zoom calls, they see that we're not just in one location or one area. What do you mean, Sam? That's what I did yesterday when I got my second IBO in the system yesterday. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I had just met the guy and his wife at the mall yesterday. I didn't know him ahead of time. I just continued to edify Mr. Thomas and the leaders. I created the story. And they were so interested. When I finally got them on the call with Mr. Thomas, they were already in the system. They just wanted to hear his voice, you know? And that brought a lot of credibility to what I was already telling. So when you guys peaking individuals, you may want to continue to edify the leadership. If we got leadership that's personally responsible for 18 millionaires, and you know you're not a millionaire, well, edify the facts. Edify Mr. Thomas. Most of us got Mr. Thomas' number, and it don't have to be when we doing the private calls. If you got his number, give him a text and say, hey, Mr. Thomas, I got somebody that's hot on the stove. I think they ready to pop like popcorn. And 9 times out of 10, ladies and gentlemen, these people will get in the system. If they don't get in the system, they'll be your customer. That's worst case scenario. They'll be your customer. And that's how you mature what you're doing. You have to continue to edify the leadership. Edify. I edify Jabri Clemens all the time. I tell him all the time, I say, that stuff y'all see, all the different graphics and all that, I say, man, that guy do that for sport. What? I said, yeah. I said, I don't think he had no form of training. I say, he just can do it. Some people can just do it, you know, with no Nikes on, they can just do it. So if you can just do it, you can just do it. In other words, I use everybody. I don't leave anybody out. I use everybody. I said we're gonna have people on the call from Australia, from China. We're gonna have Aussies on the call. Oh, I use everybody. Everybody. Why? Because it's all a pot of gumbo. Everybody has to recognize that it's all a pot of gumbo. We all popping together. We all popping together. We popping together. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see you, Miss Claudine. I see you. Go on, girl, with your hair to the side. Where you going? I'ma tell your mama. Come on now. You popping. Come on now. I see it. I see it. Yeah. Kathleen Williams, come on, girl. You still can pop. Come on now. You ain't gonna break your hip. Pop. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you come on these calls, you're gonna pop. You're gonna pop by default. You're gonna start doing things by default. Did I want to go to the mall yesterday? Absolutely not. Why is that, Sam? It rained in Texas yesterday. It rained like 4 times. I got wet. My shoes were wet. When I say wet, I'm talking soaking wet because I got out my car trying to dodge the rain and stepped in 5 puddles. So I'm going inside the mall. Shirt sticking to me, I'm wet. I'm looking like a hot dog. But did I care? I could care less. Why? Because I went in there determined to pop, baby. I determined to pop. And I didn't leave out that mall till I had 2 IBOs in the system. 2. I'm not coming out without the spores. I'm a slay Goliath up in here today. If I got to be up in here and I'm soaking wet and I got a chance on getting sick, somebody coming in the system. If the devil got to come in the system with his pants on fire, I'm walking with him. I'm coming out with his hand in my hand, with his hand in my hand. I'm coming out this mall. When y'all saw me on the call yesterday, I was putting one in the system with the mask on and everything. Yeah, you coming in the system today. I don't know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Hey, put it in the system. And by the way, what's your new IBO number? Come on now. What's your new IBO number? I never did this before. That's okay. I got you covered. The couple that was in the mall, I was walking around the mall and I just so happened to compliment the guy on his shirt. That's how I stopped the couple. I complimented him on his shirt, ladies and gentlemen. I said, hey man, that's a nice shirt. He said, thank you. And we did one of these fist bumps. And as he walked away, I said, hey, bro. I got on his level. I said, hey, bro. I said, what you do? He said, I run a truck driving company. I said, where? He said, Indiana. I said, what? He said, yeah. I said, I got family in Indiana. He said, oh, yeah. I said, yeah. I said, do you keep your options open? He said, oh, yeah. I said, oh. When he told me what he did, and I told him a little bit about the opportunity, he said to me, he said, oh, my boss will love this. I said, who's your boss? He tell me his boss is a multi-millionaire, got 9 other companies. I said, well, don't tell your boss before you tell yourself. Let your boss come up under you. Don't you get up under your boss, because you tell your boss first, he gonna have you under him. He froze in his tracks. He froze in his tracks. He looked, his wife looked. I said, yeah, I'm gonna say it again. I said, if you go over there and run and tell your boss and run your mouth too much, your boss gonna call me and he gonna be in the system and he gonna get you in. I said, but I tell you what you need to do. I said, You need to get in first, then talk to your boss, because what you're gonna do out of them 9 companies that he owns, you can get, watch this, you can get a whole nother check outside of these checks that we coming to get. He said, what do you mean? I said, credit card process. I said, can you imagine when everybody swipe a credit card in them 9 companies that he got, you'll override it? He said, what? I said, yeah, you'll override it. When I told him he'll override, I had to break down what override mean, right? After I got through breaking it down, they started scratching their head. They started looking around. I said, oh yeah, we real. They didn't know what I was talking about. So I got slick, ladies and gentlemen. Let me give you my Trump card. Can I give y'all my Trump card? This is what real to men as a big fish. I gave them the Tony Coopers in front of me, right? Then I doubled back as I was talking to him. I'm still doing it. I gave him my personal website. Watch this. Thank you, Mr. Julian Lewis. I gave him the make money first, the save money second, and I trapped him. Because as soon as it popped up on his phone, I said, touch the link. He touched the link, the whole thing pops up. When the ACN logo pops up, I said, you know, when that logo popped up, our legal team said, now it's ironclad. They said, what you mean? I said, anything that video says, we got to pay out. They said, what you mean? I said, that compensation plan second to none. I said, so anything that video says, we got to pay out. That's a legal representation of us. I said, and by the way, the person you're going to hear on the video, that's one of our 4 co-founders, Mr. Tony Cooper. I said, where can you go? And you got the co-founder doing the video. I said, you know we ain't playing. They said, what you mean? I said, 28 years debt-free, don't owe anybody a dime. A+ rating, Better Business Bureau. I said, talk to me. Oh, they look like a fat rat on a piece of hog head cheese. They didn't know what to do. I had their heads scrambled like eggs. They didn't know what to do. They was like, oh my God. And then I said, hit that link right there. They hit the second video text I sent them, and it pops up, and my face on there smiling like a, I was smiling like it was Christmas, 24/7. I'm cheesing ear to ear. I said, I grabbed the phone from the guy, and I put it up to my face. I said, oh, that's me. Oh, yeah, that's what I do. If you want to know what I do, if you want to know how I get them in the system, I pop. I get them in the system because I pop. My mind pop. My mind pops before I get to the mall. My mind pops before I get to the gas station. My mind pops before I go out to Walmart. My mind already popped because I'm saying, who ready to get in this hot grease with? Who ready to get in this hot grease with? So I started talking to them, and they started telling me, oh, I got a son over in Atlanta. I got a son over in Arizona. I got a daughter over here. I said, wait a minute. I said, you got 5 kids in 5 different states? They said, yeah. Guess what I told them, ladies and gentlemen? I said, you'll probably be better than me. They said, why you say that? I said, because you got 5 relatives in 5 different states already, and all of them your kids. I said, do y'all still talk? They said, yeah. I said, do you still love them? They said, yeah. I said, well, you they daddy. I said, they ought to at least either get in your team or get your service. I said, at the end of the day, it's a win-win. They said, where we sign up at? Come on, pop, at the mall. Oh, we popped at the mall. I didn't wait till I got home. I'm popping at the mall. I'm signing you up on the spot. Smelling like rain, soaking wet. My socks sticking to my feet. Come on now. I'm coming up here to get me some. I'm popping. I dropped both of them in the same day. Is he bragging? Nah, I ain't bragging at all. I'm just showing you how the system works if you work it. I'm only showing you the system. Everybody on this call know I ain't nobody perfect. They know I come from Alabama. My vernacular not that well. Unless we talking about big money, then I'll turn around. Other than that, you gonna get what you gonna get with me, baby. But what you gonna get from me is hard work and dedication. And we gonna pop. Because my thing is, it's all about representing the leadership. So by the time I got these individuals on the call with Mr. Thomas, ladies and gentlemen, these people are already in the system. I wasn't even waiting on Mr. Thomas. I'm ready to get him in now. Mr. Thomas can talk about it later because I already edified him. Already edified him. And by the way, a few of them are on the call right now. So I'm just saying, the system does work. And let me give you action step number 8. Let me give you action step number 8 and get out your way. Action step number 8, team up. We got a team in ACN. Everybody on this call ain't tied to the same organization, not the same upline, but we all ACN. We're all ACN. We here to help each other. Every day ain't the best day, but every day we wake up and we able to stand up, we ought to be popping. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, we still got backbone and posture, but now we popping. We still got backbone and posture because we going to work out, but now we popping. Now we popping. Now it's time to get off the bench. We lift the weights. We backbone and posture. Now it's time to put the weight down, get up off the weight, and start popping. Start popping. I don't care where you go. Go to the mall, you go to Walmart, you go visit a friend. You ought to walk in doing like this. You ought to walk in doing like this. They say, girl, what you doing? Man, what you doing? What's wrong with you? You ought to tell them. This ought to be your conversation piece, you're peeking to. You ought to say, I'm popping. I'm popping. What you mean you popping? Oh, man, you ain't heard? What you mean? Oh, man, ACN has started taking over everything, man. What you mean? Oh, man, that stream thing, man, we just got that last week. What? Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, just as an FYI, in the next 2 to 3 years, we're going to get some more stuff. Y'all already know it. In the next 2 or 3 years, you're going to be shocked what we accumulate as a company. Why you say that, Sam? Because if you watch the pattern of the co-founders, if you really watch their pattern, they've always been at least 10 years ahead of the game. At least 10 years. If you've been in ACN a while, think about it. At least 10 years. Where can you go in a company you acquired? We just acquired Stream, and to be truthful, Stream would have been considered our competition. How you gather your competition? Well, ladies and gentlemen, to be totally frank with you, we've always done that. If you can look back at the history of ACN, see, I study ACN. I just don't talk about it. I really study ACN. If you really look at ACN back in the early 90s, and this is what I tell people sometimes when I'm peaking, I said we started out doing landline phones. A lot of young people don't even know what a landline phone is. Then we started doing video phones. I'm giving you guys some peeking tools. If you want to know how many why I be getting these IBOs, this is what I say now. This is what I say. Go back and check the channel because this is going to help somebody. I'm giving you these nuggets that work. 2 in the system yesterday. 2 in the system. I ain't say 2 on peaking. 2 in the system on the spot. Now watch this. I tell them, I said, back in the early 90s, we started doing the video phones to the soldiers that was in the Gulf War. At the same time, ladies and gentlemen, the .com hit real big. That's when the .com started. They said, what .com? I said, .com anything. It was just .com whatever back then, and everybody got domain names and all that. I said, but you got to remember, when the Gulf War died down, all those soldiers started either coming back stateside or they started getting redeployed all over the globe. Well, if y'all check ACN's history, we're one of the first companies to have a global footprint. And that was because we got on the internet pretty early. You know what I'm saying? We got on there pretty early. Now, we didn't know if it was going to work, just like, you know, they didn't know ACN was going to work in the beginning. But watch this. Them 4 founders, you know what they were doing, ladies and gentlemen? They was popping. Baby, they was popping. See, I already know that. They had backbone and posture, and they started popping. They didn't wait till the 4th of July. They started popping in January. Let me take that back. They actually started in November. They busted out in January. Come on now. They was popping then. They didn't say, oh, we gonna wait till the new year. They started popping way back then. And because they popped way back then, as you guys can strategically tell, they put a corporate office in the four corners of the globe. What do you mean, Sam? Okay, let me give you a little ACN history. We got an office in America, of course. We got one in the Asian area, huh? We got one in Australia, huh? And we got one in the Germany area. We got 5, but we mastered the 4 corners of the globe. But what did that mean? For all those soldiers who wanted to stay with us, as far as the video phones, well, we started getting them as IBOs and customers, whether they retired and came back to the States or whether they stayed abroad. Since we had that footprint and we had them corporate offices already set up, but then they could be closer to a corporate office as if they were in America. And since we're on the internet, well, wow, if we one of the first private companies to jump on the internet when it first started, well, we got a real footprint. So now we got communications going where we didn't have. Can you imagine all these different companies that tried to buy us out and we said we wasn't for sale? Can you imagine how much money the co-founders, people were always trying to give them? These 28 years, ladies and gentlemen, you have to think like the co-founders. Do you realize how important the co-founders had to be solid in their mentality? What we just talked about? Come on now, these 8 steps. These founders had to be solid on that because they could have already sold out. They could have already retired. But you know what I think? I just think they was popping enough to have us in mind. To have 28 years later, to have a Sam Foster on their mind. To have a Julian Lewis on their mind. To say, no, we ain't gonna just think about us. We're gonna think about a Jocelyn Driscoll that may lose everything and need this as a lifeline. We're gonna think about a Al Thomas, even though he may not have needed it, but he can help a whole lot of people. See, we're gonna think ahead of the grid. We're not just gonna think where we at because somebody dangle some money in our face like a carrot. No, we're gonna think down the line. We're gonna think we're gonna acquire different parts of different companies. We're gonna think 20 plus years down the line when Stream used to be our competition. Now we got it. We're gonna think down the line. And we're not gonna be bitter about anything. We're gonna let Stream connect and all these people come over and keep their customers. Where they do that at? You gotta have integrity in order for them to keep their customers, and we're gonna pay them out on our level. We're not gonna even pay them out on their level. We're gonna let them join the family and giving them the feast. We're gonna let them sit at the feast at the table where it's going on. And we're not gonna overcharge. We're gonna charge them the same thing we charging everybody else. You heard Mr. Hill get on the call. We got more services than they ever had. They were screaming about more service. They were screaming about it. They come on the ACN and they got it on the spot. Walk in the door, and it's already laid out for you. Now, for us that are already in ACN, what's our excuse? Not bashing nobody. I'm talking to myself. What's our excuse? Why we can't walk out and talk to somebody? I told them the couple yesterday, they started talking to me. They said, well, how can we do this? I told them straight up, right in their face. I didn't even blink. I said, keep in mind, you're not looking for everybody. You're just looking for somebody. Let me say that again. You're not looking for everybody. You're just looking for somebody. You want to duplicate after your own kind. You want somebody that got the energy you got and more. You want to tap into it. That's why they call it tap. You want to tap into it. That's all you got to do, ladies and gentlemen. When you pop, you got to be tapping into the rhythm of yourself and other people. It's all energy. It's all spiritual. Everybody want to be encouraged. Everybody want to be patted on the back. I got an IBO chest by encouraging him on his shirt. And it wasn't even a fancy shirt. It wasn't even a fancy shirt. No disrespect to his shirt, because I know he's probably on the call. No disrespect to his shirt. It wasn't fancy, but it was a nice shirt. And he turned around and he gave me some attention. The human factor set in, ladies and gentlemen, the human factor. And as he talked to me, I talked to him. In a short time thereafter, during the system, it's all about relationships. And so when you team up, you already got the leadership. So we just need to continue to pop. We need to continue to pop. Because we can say, on one hand, I can do it. On the other hand, I got a team. On one hand, I can do it. On the other hand, I got a team. On one hand, I can do it. On the other hand, I got a team. I got a team. I got a team and we popping. 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 And we popping and we not stopping. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever you do today, keep popping. You know where I'm going, to the mall. Whoa!
Let's keep popping, sis. Let's keep popping, everybody. Wow, wow, wow. Matter of fact, yesterday I was on the phone with Brian Baker. I said, gotta go. Sam Foster's got another one for me to talk to. And I attest, he put 2 of them in the system yesterday. And I talked to both of them. He's popping at the mall. He's already gave you an idea. Well, folks, the mall is hot right now. So thank you. Mr. Sam Foster, real quickly, I can attest to the shirt. Bree Clemens gave me a shirt the other day before he left here. It said rapper with a line through it. It said athlete with a line through it. So I'm not a rapper. I'm not an athlete. I'm an entrepreneur. I wore it yesterday. Watch this. As I was making my rounds in my walk in the mall, in the casino, making my round, people kept looking. One lady who knows me, seen me all the time, she stopped me, says, what do you do? Long story short, her husband just got diagnosed with cancer. Now he's out of remission. He's in remission, excuse me. And she said, I want you to come out. I was talking about, but you got to wear a mask. I said, that's fine. He's older guy. Went by at 6:15, 6:30 yesterday, just because of my T-shirt that Mr. Bree Clemens gave me. Not a rapper, not an athlete, entrepreneur. And people are looking at it left and right. So I can attest to the shirt. Powerful, powerful, powerful. Mr. Sam Foster, will you just quickly give us the 8 one more time? Because I know several people did not write it down. Give us the 8 real quickly, sir. Just give us the 8.
Number 8 is team.
No, start with number 1, sir. All the way down to number 8.
Okay. Number 1, understand your why. Number 1 is understand your why. Number 2 action is plan in 3D. Plan in 3D. Go above and beyond. Action number 3, train to undertake. An example, I made an example about 30 minutes a day, 2 and 3 numbers a day. Keep your regimen going. I did about Mr. Payon. That was the example. Action number 4, identify your reason to believe. Believe in yourself. Identify your reason to believe. Action 4. Action number 5, evaluate your habits. Remain conscious, concentrate, and stay in control. Remain conscious, concentrate, and stay in control. All right? Action number 6, improvise. Remember, I used the example of Mr. Thomas used to say back in the day, if you don't change, all you have in your pocket is change. Sometimes you have to switch it up. Sometimes you have to, don't go to the routine. If you've always done the routine, it's okay to switch it up every now and then. Surprise yourself. That's what it's all about. Surprise yourself. Okay? Action number 7, seek specialized advice. We got many leaders on this call every day. We got a Mr. Chris and Rose Guerrero King that do a fabulous job every Sunday. Fabulous job. I try not to miss any of the leaders. I try to be a student of the game. I try not to miss nothing. If I miss something, it's a problem. I might be dead. Y'all may check my post over here. You know what I'm saying? I just do it like that, because Chris King, this last past month, this brother's been on fire. I like to call him White Chocolate. That brother been on fire. He been on fire. I don't know. He say he retired, but I don't know. I think he moonlighting over there back at the fire department because he's been on fire. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate all the leaders. And last but not least, action number 8, team up. Well, you guys are already doing that because we're all ACN. We're teaming up. No jealousy, no envy, none of that stuff. we're all teaming up. When one person wins, we all win. We all win. We all one ACN. We all one family. In other words, we feed off of each other. When we team up, we feed off of each other. Now, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time. Thank you, Mr. Thomas, once again. You have been wonderful. And thank you for letting me have your platform.